The last 7 days might have changed my life. Okay, maybe not quite as dramatic as that, but it really did have a huge impact. So, 7 days ago, I started an experiment. I had a week off from my corporate job, so I wanted to see what my life could look like if I didn't have to focus my life around my corporate job. What happened was really interesting. By day two, the whole experiment changed. It went from trying to see what my life looks like outside my corporate job to something much bigger. It turned into seeing who am I outside my corporate identity. This is how the last 7 days went, and it came with a lot of good lessons. For the next 7 days, I'm doing an experiment to see what my dream life could look like if I did not have to go to my corporate job. Now, the reason I can do this is I have the next week off from work, and so I thought it'd be a perfect chance to do a little challenge or experiment to see what would my day-to-day look like if I did not have a corporate job to go to. The first thing I noticed was how hard it actually was to mentally disconnect from work. Even when I was doing something completely normal, like going to the grocery store in the middle of the day, it felt strange, like I should still be checking Slack or making sure nothing was happening at work without me. It's the end of day one, and overall, it was a really good day. I felt relaxed, present. I will say there was a time when I went to the library. It was probably around 1 o'clock, and I had this feeling like, oh, I have to get back to work, or there's something that I'm supposed to be doing besides leaving the house and going to do something in the middle of the day. And so I definitely felt like I couldn't really relax for the first half of the day because I kept thinking that I'm going to need to jump on and do some work. But in the afternoon, I read for a little bit, and that really helped me relax and kind of finally feel like I have some time off and I can enjoy and do other things besides work. This first day, it made me realize how deeply work can live in your mind, even when you're technically not working. Good morning. It is day 2 of my 7-day experiment, and today I am focusing on health and wellness. So something I've been really interested in trying is the superpower biometric testing. So today I'm actually about to head in to get some blood work done, and then I also will be doing their gut test, which was a home kit that I'm gonna send out afterwards as well. And so that's the first step for the day. Hi, sweetie. Hello. All right, I just got back from the lab. I ended up getting 14 tubes of blood taken because I'm doing the advanced panel. So it comes with a lot of different results that they're going to be testing for, but of course that comes with a lot of vials of blood that they need in order to do the test. And then after the blood work, I decided to stop and get myself a coffee and a bagel just to treat myself a little bit after having to fast for this, but now I'm home and just hanging out with Emmy. This is the point of the experiment where it stopped feeling like I'm doing a living your dream life for a week challenge, and it started to feel like something much more personal. I just finished filming a YouTube video where I shared 3 books that I recommend if you're looking to be more mindful, understand how you process thoughts and feelings and emotions. If you're going through something where you're constantly overthinking things or have a lot of anxiety, all of these are really awesome books to read. So that's going to be another video that's going to be coming out, but just wrapped up filming that for today. So we are almost at the end of day 2, and today has honestly been an amazing day. It actually made me realize that this is not a 7-day experiment to see what my dream life could look like. It's a 7-day experiment to see who am I outside of my corporate identity. Who am I when I'm not a finance leader at a startup, someone who, focuses all of their goals and assigns meaning to things based on where I am in the corporate world, and being able to do things for myself today, like taking care of my health and doing something creative, making content, things like that have really brought me peace and joy. It's been just a very relaxing day, and definitely I want to continue to find time even when I am back at work to do more of this, because this is what I want my life to be more of, and today has really shown me that. Good morning. It is day 3 of the experiment, and so far today I have been having a really nice slow morning, just enjoying my coffee, having some breakfast, and taking my time. I did have a plan to go to a coffee shop this afternoon with Emmy, but it has been absolutely downpouring all morning, so I might have to change that plan. So nothing too much planned for the day yet, besides editing some content, but really just taking the day to relax. I really want to keep reading the book. I actually picked up the 2 books, and I've been sort of switching between reading both of them. One is a fiction, one's a nonfiction book, so I might spend some time this afternoon just reading and journaling, but really so far the day is going to be a really relaxing afternoon. I got a Slack message earlier today that I do need to jump on and answer some questions for a project that I'm working on, so probably gonna be working for the next hour or so, but overall I'm not gonna let it spoil my day, and I'm just gonna give it 1 hour and then wrap it up there. Day 3 was interesting because work actually came up, and it created a moment that made me realize something about my relationship with work. Just paused working, of course. It took way longer than an hour, and I'm still not done, but I'm going to step away for now and then see if they still need anything from me. But yeah, that definitely kind of took over my day a little bit more than I wanted it to. We are almost at the end of day 3, and today definitely did not go as I planned. I was planning on going to a coffee shop with Emmy to go edit some videos and just do some other work, but in the morning it started to rain a lot, so I sort of pivoted to a relaxing morning where I worked out, I did some red light therapy, hung out with Emmy, and just took it easy. I read a little bit, and then my afternoon turned into something I knew was possible, but I really didn't want it to be, where I got a Slack message from the CEO where he needed me to jump on and do a little bit of work for a project we're working on. And it kind of derailed my entire day. I ended up working most of the afternoon, and I think that was a big lesson for today. I realized that a couple of things. One, it was interesting to see that, knowing that we are on a company break and I was jumping on to help out even when we are off, it helped me set a little bit more boundaries where I did not feel the need to necessarily jump in and be on top every single minute. But at the same time, obviously, there was this heaviness of like having to go and get the work done. And so, one, I definitely did not like the feeling of this like anxiety that there's something waiting for me to be done. And secondly, the lesson that I learned is this happens a lot on weekends where I get a Slack message and I feel like I just need to immediately jump to it, answer, respond, be, quickly replying back to any emails. And I just feel like that's the norm. But today, because we're on a break, I felt like if I need to step away, if I need to make lunch, like it's okay to do that. And it's an interesting lesson that I want to bring into my life when I am back at work. That's the weekends are no different than a company break. Those are the days given to us to step back, to recharge, to relax. And it doesn't mean that I need to be immediately jumping into things unless they're super urgent. So I want to take that lesson back with me. The second thing I learned today, and it's something I've actually been thinking about a lot in the recent months, is that I put a lot of value of other people's opinion about me into who I am. This is where a lot of the people pleasing tendencies come in. And I realized that if somebody doesn't think certain things about me or doesn't see the same value that I think I bring, that is their opinion. And I need to be mindful of that. Being in my 30s, I know what value I bring. I know what I have to offer. I know what I can do in a job. And so, having to always be thinking of, am I coming off the way I hope I am? Or does that person think about me in the way that I hope they do? And putting that aside, it's kind of like the let them theory. It's just like let them have their thoughts about me. If they don't align with who I am, that's on them. I know who I am. And so, that was a big realization today as well, because when I was replying to the CEO, there were moments where I was thinking, oh, he must think like, I don't have the right answer, because there was a moment where I felt like I didn't have the right answer for what he was looking for, and he's going to think a certain thing of me, and just letting that go. I did my best. I replied with the best knowledge I had, and if he does not see the value in what I have to offer, that's on him. And so that was lesson number 2. I know this is a bit longer than my recaps from the last couple of days, but I don't know. Anytime work comes up, it just brings up a lot of emotions for me. And today, having to derail my day a little bit to go work brought that all up again. And so that was a couple of things that I was very observant to today. It is day 4 of the experiment, and I literally just got off the phone with my sister where I had a little bit of a cry session, because I had this realization that, I guess it's not a realization, something I've been actually thinking a lot about, that there just has to be more to life than my corporate job, and just having this like super deep feeling of like, I know there's something for me that will be that. And I don't necessarily mean like it has to replace my corporate job, just more of something I'm passionate and excited about that I'm working towards, even alongside my corporate job, to be able to not give my corporate job so much meaning. And just, yeah, trying to figure out what that is, and yeah, searching for it. So part of what sparked this was I ended up having to work pretty late last night, and I didn't sleep well because I just kept thinking about like all these things I need to do for work. And so it just had me feeling a little bit on a low this morning, but I'm trying to bring it all back and find a way to switch off a bit more, because I really struggle with that. Like once something work related comes up, and even if it passes, it lingers with me for a while, and I want to figure out a way to help myself move past that much faster. So maybe that's part of what I'll do today. And then I also have a happy hour event for South by Southwest tonight that I'll be going to, so I'm excited about that as well. As I was struggling to turn off work, I decided to use my own 30-minute rule and do something that will relax and make me feel better for the next 30 minutes. I journal and reflected on some of the lessons I was learning for the last couple of days. Then I did some EMDR meditation, which always really relaxes me. Then day 4 gave me 2 completely different lessons. The first one was about boundaries. I just did something super uncharacteristic of me, but I'm pretty proud of myself. So this whole morning so far, I have literally not been able to relax, feeling like I need to be checking work stuff. And honestly, some of it is not really urgent, but they are making it feel like it is. So I just sent my Slack message to out of office, please text if anything urgent comes up. And I'm pretty proud of myself for that, because I am, as a people pleaser, someone who's gonna make myself available at all times. But the reality is we have been given this week off to recharge. And yes, I know that there are some things in the project I'm working on that could come up. And honestly, if it's urgent, I will jump on. But there's just been a lot of things going around that are not as urgent as I think they are. And so I just need to set some boundaries. Don't mind me, I have still no makeup on, but just wanted to jump on and record this video because setting boundaries works and good things can come from it. So like I said before, I kind of decided to just put an out of office in my Slack, which again is not that big of a deal, but it felt like a big deal. And lo and behold, and I said, I'm out of office, call, or I said text if anything urgent comes up. And it's been probably 2.5 hours or so, and I get a call from the CEO. And of course, my immediate thought is like, oh no, I should have been available. But actually, he first and foremost was like, hey, thank you so much. Sorry to bother you. Like, just want to ask you a quick question. That was all. And he actually responded in a way that made me feel like I'm doing him a favor instead of me feeling like I'm not doing my job. So yeah, I feel so much better right now, and I'm so glad I did that. And there's one more lesson coming from that right there. I did manage to get ready today. I am about to head to an event for South by Southwest for a little happy hour that I was invited to. So yeah, looking forward to getting out of the house and meeting some new people. The second lesson of the day was about saying yes. So I just got back from the South by Southwest event, and this is a reminder to always say yes to things. As these types of things typically go, I was kind of last minute, just like not dreading it, but just thinking like, I don't know if I want to go. But I ended up meeting some really cool people. We're actually gonna go get dinner soon. So yeah, it just reminded me that once again, there is so much more to life than a corporate job, and go to the event, say yes to things, meet new people, because connections remind you there is so much more out there, and just talking to like-minded people is always going to make you feel better. So really glad I went to the event, and it ended up being a lot of fun. Good morning. It is day 5, and although I slept pretty crappy last night, I am excited about today. It is super beautiful outside, really sunny and warm. I am going to film a YouTube video shortly, and then this afternoon I'm gonna go over to my sister's place, hang out with her and her kids. So it's gonna be a good day. I always love spending time with her. It just makes me feel good to be around people that make me feel good. So it's gonna be a good day. Spending time with my sister today gave me another realization. Today was a really simple day, but honestly, it was a really great day. I filmed a video, I edited the video, and then in the afternoon, I went over to my sister's house, and she just reminded me of something that I think is important and something that I'm really looking for, and that's exactly why I'm doing this content, because I'm trying to find that similar thing. So she has a hobby that she has turned into a side business that she's working on, and not only does she get to do something she really enjoys, but she actually gets to make it into a business, and I absolutely love that. And I think all of us want to turn a hobby into something that we can turn into a business. And so yeah, being around her today, she was working on it a little bit, and it was just a really great reminder that that is exactly what I'm looking for as well. My sister reminded me how energizing it is to create something that is purely yours. Hello, it is day 6 of the experiment, and today is a beautiful Saturday morning. I am about to head out with Emmy to meet up with some friends. We're gonna go to a botanic garden and then just kind of hang out for the rest of the afternoon. But it should be a fun, nice little Saturday with some friends. The final lesson from the week was about something really simple. So I just got back from spending some time with friends and family, and as I expected, it was just a really nice day. And interestingly enough, while I was driving, I had a podcast on, and something that they said was really interesting, and I actually saw it play out today, is the actual key to longevity is community. So spending time with your family, with your friends, and having that support system. And spend most of today hanging out with my sister and my brother-in-law and my friend, and it 100% made me realize like that is what makes you feel better, what helps you feel like things aren't as hard, or even just like forget the Sunday scaries that are coming up, for sure having to go back to work after having a week off. So yeah, I think it was interesting to see it play out in reality, because I definitely think that is so true, is having a support system will absolutely make your life so much easier. So it's day 7, and I'll be honest, the Sunday scaries are definitely creeping in. I have to go back to my job tomorrow, and I'm starting to feel a little bit anxious about it. But if the last 7 days have taught me anything, it's how important it is to structure my life outside my corporate identity. I have to make a priority to do things differently. I have to say yes to more things outside of work. I need to prioritize time with my friends and family. And most importantly, I need to do more things that make me happy, make me feel more present, and make me feel excited about a life again. So the last 7 days were a nice experiment, but of course life moves on and I do have to go back to my corporate job. So I want to take these lessons and incorporate them into my daily life. I want to do more of these experiments, see what I can do to really live a more fulfilled life and be more than just my corporate identity.